welcome to My Xbox and Me, episode 32. I am one of your hosts, MC Fixer, also known as Corey, depending who you are and how you call me. And I haven't got the Scotsman himself this week. I haven't got Mr. Moody, the PS4 lover. I've got a superstar, someone that I met probably about a year ago now, and we finally got around to doing something. Laura Kate Butts, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I am fabulous. I am amazed that I've got you on. I've got to be honest.
Well, I've needed to do something with you for a while because we met, Res last year.
And Res has just come round again, which is crazy timing.
So it's been pretty much a year. And the whole reason that we met was because I was lonely in a queue and was like, I'm just going to start conversations with people about video games. And I think that's how we met.
That's exactly how we met. And it was the best thing that ever happened to me because I've spoken to you since. We've been on Twitter or on Facebook, etc., etc. And you've helped me along the way through this year. Anything I've needed, you've helped with.
That's flattering to hear. I'm glad to hear that I was of some help. So, yay! We're finally doing some stuff together.
Exactly. Yeah, so last year we was in the queue. I stood behind you. You were talking to someone else, and then I heard you say, "Oh, I work at." I think it was Destructoid. I think it was you just started there.
I think I just started as UK editor like a week or so before, so I was very excited about it at the time.
My ears went up, and my fiance, who most of you know, Hayley, her ears went up, and she was like, "Talk," and I was like, "Do what I'm best at, yeah." She's like, "Yes, talk now." I was like, "Okay."
It's this is a person who does this for a living. Quick, have a conversation, make this networking.
Exactly, and that was the whole reason we were there anyway. So it was like perfect, and we got talking, and the rest is history, I guess.
Yeah, I suppose so. You're doing your Patreon stuff now, and I'm doing
your Patreon stuff as well.
God knows how many things under the sun.
I know I'm not really interviewing you. This was about My Xbox and Me, but just for the fun of it, for those of my audience that don't know you, who are you? What do you do? Who do you work for? Etc.
Well, my name's Laura, and I'm UK editor at Destructoid.com. Other than that, I have a Patreon, which does really pretty well, it seems.
Yes, very.
I freelance for everywhere under the sun, from Kotaku UK to Rock Paper Shotgun to Polygon to wherever else wants to pay me for work.
Yep.
And I have seemingly developed a following as a journalist that talks about video game butts. Don't know quite how it happened, but that's a big thing of why people seem to like me, is I talk about butts a lot of the time.
Exactly. Well, I checked out your content after a year later, and I was like, okay, she likes butts, so that makes sense. I get the Twitter handle now, so...
Yeah, there's some butts involved, apparently.
Yeah. Let's get straight into it. So let me do the housekeeping. This episode of My Xbox and Me is brought to you by mcfixer.co.uk. And Laura, what is your website?
I have a bunch of things. Laura K Buzz everywhere. LauraKBuzz.com, Patreon /Laura K Buzz, Laura K Buzz on YouTube, just Laura K Buzz.
There you go. And this episode you can get it early on Patreon. Audio early is $3, video is $5. There's no video this week, so Patreon supporters are going to be angry, but it doesn't matter.
I'm sorry, it's me turning up without a video camera. I've ruined everything.
It doesn't matter. They love us anyway, so it doesn't matter. And again, Mike Lynch. This episode is brought to you by Mike Lynch, and Mike Lynch has a new message because it's a new month for you guys, and it reads like this: "Hi everyone in the My Xbox and Me fam, it's Mike Lynch." Thank you, Mike. I appreciate that. I wanted to tell you all that I have a YouTube channel called drum roll please. Thank you, Mike Lynch. I do reviews and commentaries, so check them out at Mike Lynch on YouTube. And no, I am not the ukulele player. So, I know a lot of the audience has already been over checking out Mike's stuff. Mike is doing some wonderful stuff over there. And Mike, again, thank you for your support on Patreon. It means the world to me. Like I always say, it keeps the show going, it keeps me going, and your support means the world, so thank you. All right, enough of the housekeeping and the advertisements and all that. Laura, what is in your box this week? What have you been playing?
I've been playing a game that, the rest of the world's still waiting to get on their Xboxes. I've been playing Dark Souls 3.
Oh my god, she's jumped ahead. She's already ruined the next segment, which is reviews of the week, but it's all good. It doesn't matter.
I'm sorry, I'm ruining the entire build-up of this show.
It doesn't matter. So you've been playing Dark Souls. How much are you allowed to talk about?
I'm allowed to talk about whatever the heck I want. I'm gonna try and keep spoiler free because I understand, like, a lot of people are anticipating this game and I don't want to be the person that ruins any of it for anyone.
I appreciate
But
that.
I can spoiler free talk about whatever I happen to want. So,
Okay.
yeah, that's a really good Dark Souls game.
Okay, perfect. For someone who's not a Dark Souls fan, the only game I played in the Dark Souls series is none of them. But I did play Bloodborne, so that was my putting my toe in the water, and
Okay.
I got crazy frustrated with that, and that's meant to be for noobs.
Well, here's what I'm gonna say. Dark Souls 3 is not easy. You'll see a lot of people online who'll be like, oh no, Dark Souls 3 is too easy, it's the easiest of all the Soulsborne games, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
It's not an easy game. What I will say in its benefit is that it is better. It has a better difficulty curve in the early sections.
Okay.
It throws you against its first boss within about 2 minutes of the start of the game.
Oh,
the first,
God.
well, no, and that's not a bad thing because it means that if you die, you don't have to backtrack a long way to try it again.
Oh, I understand.
yeah.
So it's teaching you straight away. It's like, this is what it's
yeah,
about.
It's just throw yourself against this boss, and it's going to teach you one thing over and over. And this first boss, for example, trying to stay as spoiler-free as possible, the first boss is trying to teach you, even when a boss looks really scary, don't back away from it, keep fighting. And, like, it sort of ramps up its first 2, 3, maybe 4 bosses are, hey, you need to learn a new thing about how, like, Soulsborne bosses work. And it ramps it up in a really nice way. It's not easy, but it is a more gradual curve than most of these Soulsborne games have with their difficulty.
Okay.
The other thing to say is, for anyone that has played, like, more of the past games, speed-wise, it definitely feels closer to Bloodborne than it did some of the earlier Souls games.
Okay.
You don't have the rewards of, like, oh, if you jump back in after you've been hurt, you can get your health back, so there's not that same sort of pressure for you to be always attacking, which can be nicer for people who, like, enjoyed the speed of Bloodborne but didn't like being sort of pushed constantly to fight. So
Yeah, I hear you. That makes sense.
There you go. That's my, if you're not a Soulsborne person.
Okay, I'm not really into review scores personally. So, will you give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down?
I'm gonna give it 2 big thumbs up.
Perfect.
Like,
That's what we need.
if you like these games, this is probably my favorite of the games that From Software have done.
Okay.
It's probably my favorite of their games. So it gets big thumbs up from me as someone that likes them. If you don't like them, this might not sell you.
No, okay, that's fair enough. I'm going to try out this one, I've decided. I thought it'd be funny to stream and we can have a death counter and everyone can laugh at me because I get really, really angry at these games because I'm so bad at them. But I'm going to try them out. But I have been playing a little Xbox One exclusive, well, kind of console exclusive, we can say, a game called Quantum Break.
Oh, yeah, I played some of that this week.
Oh, perfect. I'm only on Act 2. Again, no spoilers. But the game's really, really good, in my opinion. It's not a cover-based shooter like I was expecting. It's not like Gears of War cover-based. It's like you don't have to push A to get into cover. It just ducks down automatically into cover. I love the time mechanics in the game. It's just so much fun. I feel like a superhero who's not a superhero, obviously. The story to me, I'm quite into.
Yeah, like, it's the same people that did Alan Wake, and having finished it, I'm not quite as into the story as I was with Alan Wake, but I'm still
Fair enough.
yeah, this is still good. It's still an interesting story. It's a better story than you get in most shooters.
That's where I'm at right now. I played The Division for 4, I think I got 4 days game time, which was, okay, cool. The story, nothing really there, personally, in my opinion. I needed something with story, and this come at the perfect time, in my opinion.
Exactly. This is the kind of shooter that I get myself involved in, where I'm like, yeah, it's a shooter, but it's a story shooter. Yeah, this works for me.
Exactly. I'm hearing it's not actually that long, which, personally, I'm happy about.
It was shorter than I expected, but I didn't feel disappointed with the length.
Which
like,
is...
you might get to the end and be like, this finished a little bit quickly, but you're left wanting more, which is always a good situation to be in.
Yeah, Remedy, I love their games. I do. I loved Alan Wake. I do love Quantum Break, what I've played so far. I'm going to get up to... After this, I'm going to be streaming some, which would be lovely. What else can I really say about it? The TV show. What I've seen so far is the first 2 junctions. which I think are done really, really well. It doesn't look low budget, doesn't look shoddy, doesn't look poor like I was expecting. I was expecting to skip it and not really care about it, but I'm actually quite invested into it. What did you make of it?
I thought the production quality of the show definitely is really high. It is interesting, though, that they feel like two very separate things. They don't feel like they've been very much, like, blended together.
Yeah.
And it's very much like... It's also, it takes a little bit of getting used to, or at least it did for me, like, getting to the end of a gameplay section, being like, okay, I'm coming up toward the end of this section, this is probably where I'll save. Oh, wait, there's a TV show episode happening now, I guess I'm here another 20 minutes.
Yeah, I actually really like that. I get what you mean by, I was waiting for it to come, wait for it to come in the first act, and then you do the junction thing, and you pick the two different sides of the story, which I think they do really well, showing you what's to come, but not really.
Yeah.
If you get what I mean by like,
I like that setup if I haven't got anything to be doing at any specific time.
Yeah.
If I'm trying to fit this game into the rest of my day and I'm like, oh yeah, I'll sort of wrap up around here, then suddenly it throws 20 minutes of TV show at me. Occasionally that's like, oh, okay, can I come do this later?
Yeah, I suppose you're in a unique space just like I am, where we've got other things to be doing, so adding an extra 20 minutes onto something that you might not actually care about is kind of bad, but
yeah,
I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, also, I didn't decide to, like, let's play this or anything, but I did have my sudden moment of, wait a second, how are Let's Players going to deal with the whole, like, bit where there's just a TV show happening for 20 minutes?
The fact, Joe, I'm glad you brought that up, because I was streaming it. I streamed the first 2 acts, and I got to the first time and I was like, okay, and I'm sitting there watching the TV show, and I actually said to my chat, I'm really sorry that I'm sitting here quiet, not doing anything, but this is how I watch TV. I don't sit there and commentate over TV shows. I watch the TV shows and take everything in and go, I might have a little, oh, that's cool, or something like that, but I don't literally go, oh, that's boring, over a TV show. I'd do that afterwards. So it was kind of strange.
There is one interesting thing they did do for streamers, which is that there is a setting in the settings menu where you can turn off licensed music so you won't get copyright striked.
I was literally just about to talk about that.
That should be a thing in more games. That's and that's why I'm not worried about, like, streaming or Let's Playing this and getting in trouble with Remedy, because, like, they clearly know that people are going to do that, and they're, like, building their expectations around people doing that.
Exactly.
More companies need to do that.
I think it's just games journalism is changing, and they know that YouTubers and streamers are going to be a big part of that. So they're just making it easier for us not to have to cut out music or get the copyright strikes, and everyone has a hissy fit like I do sometimes when I get copyright strikes, which I'm sure you do with your YouTube channel. Sometimes it happens, so you're like, why?
I've been trying to Let's Play 2 Nintendo games for the last couple of months. I am no stranger to copyright.
Yeah, trust me, that's not an easy fight.
No.
But I can't give you a thumbs up or thumbs down because I haven't finished it, but I definitely think the first 2 acts are solid enough to go and get. If you like Remedy games, if you liked Alan Wake, I think there's a good game and a good story here from what I've played so far.
Like, off the first look at this game, it doesn't look like it's from the Alan Wake people, but it was definitely scratching a very similar itch. So if you like Alan Wake, yeah, it's good.
Yeah, I can go with that. That's cool. Again, I want to talk. Okay, let's talk a little bit about EGX quickly. I know you wasn't there this year.
Yeah, I missed it. I had medical appointment stuff. Boo.
It happens. I was there and I had a phenomenal time. I got 2 interviews for the My Xbox and Me podcast, which is one with Jay, who's making Gear Gauntlet, and one from Nitmaking, who some of you might know already from Making Games, who's making Rage Injustice. I was going to put him in this episode, but considering we've really got a superstar, we don't really need to put it in this episode, so I'm going to put it in next week's episode. So when I say episode 23 in the interview, I'm sorry. But EGX was fun. It was great fun. I made lots of links. Again, I need to say thank you to my Patreon supporters, because without them, I wouldn't have actually been able to go, because I didn't get a press pass until really late, so I had to end up buying tickets and then trying to get rid of the tickets, and it was a whole thing. But yeah, the show was fun. There were some great games there. I need to give a shout out to Manuel Samuel. Have you played this at all?
No, I haven't.
Okay, so Manuel Samuel it's a game where they didn't really give you the story, but I think it's about a rich kid who the devil takes away all of takes everything away from him, and he has to do everything manually. So he has to blink, breathe, stand upright, 1 foot after each other, and that's all done on the controller. So you're trying. So it's like day-to-day objectives of like get dressed, eat food, have a shower, brush your teeth, and you have to do it all manually. And oh my god, the game is so much fun. So I was playing it.
It sounds a lot of fun.
Yeah, so I was playing it, and I was just I couldn't get it at first. I really, really couldn't get it. So I'm going along, and my fiance again, she's there, and she kept jabbing me, going, breathe, blink. So if you don't blink, the screen goes white. And I went to why is it going white? It's like, you're not blinking. I was like, oh yeah, of course I'm not. And then you forget to breathe, and he lies down on the floor and starts dying. So you have to push, but it's not like push A to breathe. It's like you inhale with X and then you exhale with B. And it's like you have to keep doing it and blink and walk 1 foot at a time and keep yourself upright. And then there's other mechanics when you get in the shower to wash yourself and you have to hold the LBRB. And it's just so much fun.
I am always a fan of games that overcomplicate things that we take for granted.
It's just, it was I don't know. It was like, it reminds me of Octodad, but a lot harder in my opinion. But it was so much fun. So I have to give a shout out to that game. What else did I play while I was there? There weren't. I played Super Hot. Is that it?
Yeah, Super Hot.
Yeah, that was in the Idea Xbox booth as well. I've got a video coming out of my top 5 games at the Idea Xbox coming soon. But yeah, that was a great game as well. I know it's already out on PC, but that was a lot of fun.
It is one of my like game of the year contenders for this year. Having finished it, it's only a couple of hours long, but it is. Again, as someone that likes story stuff in shooters, it's my favorite shooter in a long time.
Yeah, like I was playing the game and like a guy come over and was like, this game looks kind of crappy, don't it? I was like, no, it looks beautiful. What are you talking about? He didn't understand that it was meant to look like. He's like, is this a prototype? I'm like, no, this is the game.
It's this beautiful thing where the game, like, it stops when you're not moving and all these things shatter into all these shards. It's a gosh down beautiful game.
Yeah, he couldn't understand it, but I did, and it was so them two get honorary mentions again. Raging Justice, I love that game. Have you heard of that one at all?
No, I haven't. Again,
Okay.
you're filling me in on all the Xbox news that I'm not up to date on. You brought the wrong person on the Xbox cast. I'm like, I know some Xbox stuff.
Don't worry. But Raging Justice is a 2D side-scrolling beat-em-up, like Streets of Rage or Final Fight, but it's in HD graphics. And like you have like Nick was telling me, and you'll hear about it more in the interview, but he's got new mechanics in the game where you either can be good cop or bad cop. And he'll send out warrants, and if you arrest that person, you get more bonuses and stuff like that. And I'm not going to spoil it. There is something special in the game that my fans are definitely going to enjoy. So, but that will be for next week. All right, let's get into the news anyway, because we've gone long. I apologise. The Division, is it a game you played at all, Laura?
I played a bit. It's competent shooting mechanics. Didn't keep my interest because I'm not a big online, story shooter person. So I was like, yeah, this is good. And about like 4 hours later, I was like, yeah, I've seen enough of this for myself.
I'm done. That makes perfect sense, to be honest with you. I'm disappointed in myself that I put so much time into it. And I'm now at the point where, because I took a break from it, my gear's not high enough to do the incursion on tomorrow. So now I have to go back and grind more, which means I'm going to be behind my whole squad, because I was playing with, I don't know if you've ever heard of Alfredo Plays.
Yeah.
XIG, and I was playing with him, and now he's going to be way ahead of me. I'm going to try and come in. He's going to be like, yeah, you're behind that, dude. You're like 2 weeks behind everyone. I'm like, It's one of those games like Destiny where if you don't keep grinding, you get left behind.
This is exactly why I don't play games like Destiny, because I can't, doing the job I do, I can't commit the time to do this, and then I get left behind. So I'm like, nope, just not even going to start.
Yeah, exactly. You made the right decision there. But the Division bug is removed. Oh, God, let me try that one again, shall I? The Division bug removes daily missions. Fix coming in April update. The daily mission in the Division has disappeared due to a bug, but Ubisoft has said it will be in the update in April. Please note that the issue with the daily hard and challenging mission will be fixed with the update developed on April 12th.
Hey, that's probably going to happen by the time this goes up.
Exactly. The funny thing about that is the daily mission is like a key component to getting Phoenix credits. So they've actually broke the game really, really bad by that patch.
So many online-only games are doing that at this point. Like, what was, I think it was Hitman, whatever the new Hitman is.
I think it's just called Hitman. It is, it's just Hitman,
Okay, yeah, because they released that, and it's like, oh yeah, if you create your save online, then, our servers are down, you can't play the game until we repatch it in a week or so. The game's just broken.
And it's a single-player game. Come on.
It is a nightmare that, like, the fact we're getting online-dependent games becoming more common, it's great for the things we can do in games. It's not great for when games break. It's
a scary world out there, really, when this happens, because it's like... Joe, I had the same thing with my Xbox, actually, where my internet went down, and I was like, I'm going to play, I think it was Rise of Tomb Raider. I've got on disc. I've got a load of collectibles to get. Tried to do it weren't working. I didn't realise you have to actually take the whole console offline to actually be able to play offline. It's not just as simple as you got no internet connection. Cool, let's go. It's just like, come on, Microsoft, really?
Goodness.
So, we were talking about Quantum Break earlier, and Microsoft has come out and said that Quantum Break is now the best-selling new Microsoft IP this generation, as well as being the best-selling selling box game in the UK this week.
It doesn't hugely surprise me, either of those bits. It was the only AAA game to get, like, a new boxed release this week that anyone was really excited about.
Exactly.
And, I was trying to think, what Microsoft new IPs have there been on the Xbox One generation that I've been as excited about? And I'm like, nah, none really. Like, I enjoyed Rise, and I enjoyed Sunset Overdrive at launch, but most of what I've played on Xbox hasn't been exclusive new IPs.
So you got Dead Rising 3, Sunset, like you said, Rise. This was obvious. This is Remedy. Remedy makes great games. This was always gonna do well, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I think it's the first one of these that I look at and say, that is a good game. It's not just a good game because it's on the new gen and everyone's excited about new gen tech.
Exactly.
Because I think that's what sold Dead Rising and Sunset Overdrive and Rise is, look how shiny it looks on my new Xbox.
Yeah, I totally agree. That's why I bought it, personally. It's like, this is beautiful, and Connect, and God, Connect. Sorry, Connect. What was I thinking?
That thing that you were forced to buy and now no one has to buy anymore.
It's the fact that no one uses it anymore. It's just not usable.
They turned off some of the functions of it a while back, where they're like, you can't use voice commands or whatever it was anymore. It's like...
Gestures, yeah.
Oh, gestures, yeah. Sorry,
gestures,
they left on voice, but they turned off gestures. It's like, why would you take away functions?
Something that was in the box at launch as well is like, come on.
It is weird, but yeah, Quantum Break being the best-selling new IP doesn't surprise me. Seems like it deserves it from what I've played.
Yeah, I totally agree. Also, Microsoft has come out and said that they are ready for cross-network play, which me and Ross, who was on last week's episode, I think we spoke about this. I'd love to get your opinion on this. That we don't really care. I own both consoles anyway, so this doesn't really matter to me too much. But Microsoft saying they're ready, I feel like they're trying to force Sony's hand a little bit. Like, so are you going to commit or you're not? Are you going to do it? And like poking a bear sort of thing. Like the goodwill with the listeners, like people like myself. Like, what do you make of this? Is this a big deal to you, cross network play?
Okay, so it's not a huge deal to me day to day, because I can get multiple copies of a game if I need it on multiple systems, and I've got all the consoles anyway. It's not a big problem for me, but I can definitely see the appeal to an audience saying, hey, if your friend got a different console to you, you can still play your Call of Duty against each other. And that is a healthy thing for the growth of the industry. Now, I don't think in the slightest that Microsoft's intentions here are for furthering the growth of the medium. I think this is purely a play because they know that Sony's, as a Japanese company, this is not their business ethic, and it's not the way they do things generally. They don't want to do this. And every time that Microsoft reminds you, hey, we're opening up to this, Sony, balls in your court, and it doesn't happen. Basically, I think Microsoft are trying to play this like their version of if you go back a few E3s to that Sony press conference where they were like, this is how you share games on PS4.
Exactly.
And it was their big mic drop, and it's like, oh, look at that. I feel like Microsoft are trying to take a feature that currently doesn't exist and use the fact that they'd be willing to let it exist as they're kind of trying to drag it out as a continual mic drop for a while.
Yeah.
And it's a very odd thing to see. It's not as big of a single bam, that was amazing, go Xbox kind of moment, but it is their continual reminding of, hey, you know that feature you kind of want? We're the company that are open to it. You know why it's not happening? Because the evil Sony won't let it happen. Boo.
It's all PR. Like in the quote that I've got here, it's like any title that wants to come update their game to cross network can, and any title that wants to launch as soon or take advantage of that, we're ready for it. It's just like a constant reminder of, we can do it. We're ready. We're the good guys. You're the bad guys. It's just trying
to spin this as like, we have the tech, we have the willingness. Why is it not happening? Well, I wonder. Sony.
Exactly.
And it's an interesting move. I wonder how long they can keep it held out. My suspicion is that we see something at E3 about this. That if we go off of last year as anything to go on, Microsoft will likely have their press conference first.
Yep.
They will likely announce this at their press conference, and they'll take the credit for it, and then you'll see it mentioned again in the Sony press conference, would be my guess.
I can see them saying something about Rocket League, because I know Rocket League is the first game currently working towards making this happen.
Yeah.
So I can see Microsoft coming out and being like, we've done it. Rocket League can now support the other consoles, as they put it, not PlayStation, the other consoles.
Well, the reason they're not saying it is, like, I suspect Microsoft probably have heard from developers that the NX is a thing that they might want to pay attention to, and they might be like, oh, that's other consoles as well. But PS4's the main one they're hinting at, obviously.
You brought up a good topic with NX. That to me is more appealing. I love Nintendo consoles. I love their games. They make fabulous games. Do you think this would make third parties then want to produce more games on NX?
Let's say that the NX is a competitor to the PS4 and the Xbox One, and you, at launch, could play most of your third-party games cross-platform. I think that would deal with one of the biggest issues with launches for Nintendo consoles over the last couple of generations, which is no one wants to pick up the multi-platform game because they have no guarantee that they're going to have the friend list in place.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's the thing, is like, let's say if we look back to the Wii U generation when that came out, I think a heck of a lot more people would have bought Call of Duty on the Wii U at launch than did if it was, hey, you can play against your Xbox 360 and PS3 players or whatever it was at the time.
Exactly.
And I think that's a big thing, is if you don't have to rely on just like that consoles ecosystem, it can make the prospect of like buying into something a lot more appealing. So yeah, like on a similar note, like I know I'm kind of dragging on about this, but,
no, you're all good, don't worry.
I think it's very interesting that Sony have not done it with Xbox, but they have done cross-platform play.
Yeah.
And a great example of this would have been when Street Fighter V came out. You can play against other PS4 users, or you can play against PC users.
Exactly.
So I get the feeling that it's not a tech issue on Sony's side.
No.
It's not an unwillingness to allow the functions. I think it's that they don't want to work with Microsoft. That's the impression I get, is they don't want to play ball with Microsoft. Which
is smart, really. It is smart, because they're winning.
Yeah, and, well, it's also the fact that if they say yes, then Microsoft gets their win, because then Microsoft can say, hey, look, we kept pushing for this, and because we kept pushing for it, now gaming is a better place.
Yeah, we did it. Not Sony, we did it. We were the good guys.
We were the ones that came out here pushing, and we made Sony do it. And that's probably a PR situation that Sony don't want to deal with.
Of course.
So there's a few reasons I can think of as to what might be going on, but I'd like to see it happen. Probably doesn't make a big difference to me in my life.
No, nor me. Because all my friends are on Xbox anyway. Ain't that right, my Xbox and me community? Love you guys. Fable Legends. A game that I thought was... I love Lionhead. I like Fable 1. I like Fable 2. I like Fable 3. Not as much as Fable 1 and 2. Fable Legends was poor. I played it at EGX, like the big EGX, maybe 2 years ago. And, okay, I know it was still pre-alpha or whatever it was at the time. Maybe beta, I'm not sure. The game was awful. I couldn't stand it. But they're saying that Fable Legends may still be coming, according to rumours. According to MCV sources at Lionhead Studios, I quote, discussions are going on about saving the free-to-play RPG. Did you get a chance to check out Fable Legends at all?
I have. I'm really not, excited about it.
It's been cancelled, so just let it stay cancelled, in my opinion.
Here's the thing. The reason to not let it stay cancelled is that they poured a lot of money into it over a lot of years, and they're obviously reluctant to throw that money away. So I wouldn't hold my breath on this coming out. If it does come out, I would expect it to be a fairly budget title, in that I guess the conversations right now are probably, what is the cheapest way that we can finish this game and throw it out there to recoup some of what we spent?
Yeah, exactly. For me, it's going to be... if the studio's already closed, and let's say they do finish the game and bring it out, there's going to be no content for it afterwards anyway, which is longevity for a lot of games nowadays, especially free-to-play games.
Yeah.
Not. If there's going to be nothing afterwards, who's going to put any real money into this when they know the studio's closed down? There's probably not many people there working on it. This doesn't sound good for anyone personally.
These are all very valid observations and reasons to not hold your breath for this to come out anytime soon.
Yeah, if you didn't play it, you saved yourself some hours, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It just wasn't. It wasn't Fable, and that's what I wanted.
It's just uninteresting and
That's perfect wording for this game, in my opinion. Okay, let's talk about the big one, and it's our last news story. Gears of War 4 will be launching on October 11th for Xbox One. Yes. Yeah. Personally, I am a huge Gears of War fan. Huge. That's how I got my fiance into gaming, by playing co-op Gears of War. I'm happy there's no 4-player Gears of War, so I ain't gonna have loads of people pestering me. That is me, my fiance playing it, not split screen because we have 2 Xbox Ones, because we're not stupid like that. I can't wait. The game looks amazing. Did you see the trailer at all?
Yeah, it looks really shiny. That's a good looking shoot stuff game. I'll probably play it.
Are you not a Gears of War fan?
I'm one of those people where, I played all of them at least once through and was like, yeah, I enjoyed that. It's not a series that I get super pumped about, but I know that at some point I'll get round to it and I'll definitely enjoy my playing through it. It looks really good, so I'm excited to at least, have that in my system and be like, oh, look, it's all shiny.
The things I love about Gears of War, number 1 was amazing. That trailer was... Mad World trailer was great. The trailer for this we're going to talk about in the emails, because I know we got some emails from the My Xbox and Me community talking about this. But Gears of War for me is spooky enough, and this one looks even spookier, more survival horror. Everyone knows that Resident Evil is my favourite franchise of all time, and we're not even going to get onto it, because I get into really bad rants when I talk about Resident Evil nowadays.
I love a lot of Resident Evil. There's also a lot I don't love.
Me too. We might sneak it in after this. Gears of War is a franchise that defines Xbox for me. It's a great cover-based shooter. It's the first cover-based shooter, and I personally think it does cover-based shooting perfectly compared to others. I'm very hyped for this game, and I can't wait for October 11th to come. I like the fact we're not with Marcus Phoenix anymore. We're with his son, new group of friends.
Yeah, I am so thankful we've moved on from Marcus Phoenix. Not that he wasn't great, but much like a lot of people, again, the other side of the pond, talking about God of War at the moment.
Yeah.
There are series like this that you reach 3 entries and a couple of spin-offs, and you're like, yeah, now's the time to move on from this protagonist. And where Microsoft have said, yeah, let's move on and do, this new group that's exciting, Sony are like, no, let's keep a hold of our god-killing guy. He'll do another one again.
Exactly. Let's get into the emails. Again, if you want to...
You missed a bit of news.
What did I miss? Hit me up.
It's that bit that's not on the Word document.
Go on, hit me.
Titanfall 2.
Oh, yeah, I did. I'm putting a message to you as well.
Yeah, you messaged me about it, and then you forgot to talk about it.
Come on, I'm tired. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Yeah, I was so tempted to just let you get to your emails, but I'm like, no.
I said it.
You put it in the Facebook. We're gonna do it.
Titanfall 2 come out with a teaser trailer today. Did you see it? I did.
I saw it. It sure looks like more Titanfall.
With a sword.
With a sword. Yeah,
there's a
swords
sword.
are always... Swords are better than no swords.
Very true. Very, very true. Yeah, I loved Titanfall at launch. It was a great game. It just dropped off really, really fast.
Yeah, this is the big problem, is I absolutely love it, but just the community didn't stick. And I'm really hoping that we see a longer community tail on this one. Would certainly help if it came out on other consoles and had cross-play. That might not hurt it having an ecosystem.
It is coming to other consoles. If it gets cross-play or not, that's another question.
You see what I'm saying?
I do.
If it got cross-play, that might stop it from dying quite as quickly as the first one. Because I loved the mechanics of Titanfall.
It was the smoothest game going at this time. At the time,
Yeah.
I couldn't believe what I was playing, personally.
It's basically, it's the futuristic Mirror's Edge with mechs that I didn't know I wanted, but discovered that I'd always wanted.
But I did want a single-player campaign in that world, and now we're getting it, and that's what matters to me mostly.
Well, we're apparently getting it. I'm not I'm not holding my breath until we see it, because they kind of tried to tell us there was a single-player campaign in the first one. And
there wasn't.
It was a couple of cutscenes around some multiplayer maps. I'm like, I'll wait and see this single player before I get excited.
That's a fair. Look, reserve judgment until you see it, and you don't want to hype something you haven't seen either.
I don't want to get excited until I see it, because there's so much promise with Titanfall.
Yeah, I think it could be a great franchise. I think the problem that it had was it was the Call of Duty killer from the ex-Call of Duty team that just absolutely killed them, because it was like, this isn't the Call of Duty killer. It's a great game, don't get me wrong, but
it set expectations that it would be something other than what it is.
I think it was hyped too much as well. It was an Xbox One exclusive. There wasn't that many Xboxes out there at the time.
Yeah, it was an exclusive when they needed a big exclusive, and they
threw the money at it and went, please do something, and it's not like it didn't sell well. I think it did. I remember this bill was 10 million players, but that also counts in PC, Xbox, and there was free sessions on EA Access that you could get, and there was free sessions on Origin that you could get. So, numbers are a little bit messed up there, but I'm sure it did okay because there was a number 2. Yeah. Can't really add anything else on there.
No, I'll let you get back to your attempt to go to the emails now.
Okay. And now we're on to the emails. If you want to email in, please email at myxboxandmepodcast@gmail.com. All emails are welcome. Feedback, slagging me off, whatever it is. If you want to email in, where's Ross? Ross is doing things, I promise, and I'm sure you'll hear about him soon enough. He will be back, don't worry. The next few weeks we're going to have guest hosts on until we can get a replacement host. But he is doing things and you're going to love it, I promise you. But let's get into this. And this one starts off with, hey there, gang. Gears of War has always had a very special place in my heart. Back in high school and early college years, high school, that means you're American. Okay. The game was something me and my friends used to hang out with each other. So much sleep was lost over the years to this game. So with the arrival of Gears of War 4 teaser, I have 2 questions.
2?
Not 1, but 2.
That is greedy question numbers.
Very true. What is your favourite Gears game in the franchise? Okay.
I'm gonna go for the answer I usually give for trilogies. Either the first or the third, not the second.
Okay, that's interesting.
For me, the second was not the strongest in the series.
See, I've got like a split. Can I do I want number 1 story with number 2's multiplayer? Can I do that?
Can I go a bit more of a split and go number 1 story, number 3's general gameplay, but 2's multiplayer?
I think we got a winner if we go with that one.
If we can combo all 3 of those. If I had to pick between them and just pick one, I'd probably go Gears 1 because, again,
I
keep saying this episode, I like story in my shooters and I like the story in Gears 1.
Yeah. Again, the Gears of War, a fun fact for you, Gears of War 1 was the second game I ever played on Xbox Live. because I was very late to get an Xbox Live. I didn't have it on the original. I was a PS2 guy.
Don't worry, I was a very late person to online multiplayer
Yeah,
as well.
and Gears of War, I had do you remember the brick TVs that you had with the VCRs put in?
Yeah.
I had one of those. I had it downstairs in my front room when I lived with my mum, and my mum was like, "Why are you downstairs playing Xbox? And why have you got that weird headset on?" And I was like, "Mum, I'm playing online." And she's like, "Well, can't you do that upstairs?" I was like, "No, because you've got the modem downstairs." And she's like, "Well, whatever you have to do to get upstairs, I'm sick of you swearing." I was like, "Okay, cool." But yeah, Gears of War was the first game I played online, and I couldn't believe it. Gears of War 1 was a phenomenal story game, number one. I played it with my brother, I believe. Yeah, he used to play games then. And we just used to play that game crazy. Let me get to question 2. Okay. And question 2 is, what game do you have those same feelings for? A game that you and your friends would mess around for hours and get lost in. Keep up the great work, and P.S. I heart you. What? Oh, sorry, wrong show. Yes, this isn't P.S. I love you. As much as I love P.S. I love you, keep the P.S.'s coming, because I love you guys, and you're definitely a kind of funny fan, so kind of funny to you. What game have I spent loads of time messing around in and got lost in?
My answer for this is really easy. It's GoldenEye.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
GoldenEye
that's a very good...
Yeah, it was around at the right time that I had a bunch of local multiplayer friends at the time, and it was just the one that we put unholy amounts of hours into.
See, mine would probably be, it's not an Xbox title, probably Mario Party. I think maybe...
Oh, which one?
I think... I think it was 5 on the GameCube.
I think it was 4 that I was really into. The only vivid memory I have of that particular Mario Party is I remember one afternoon when me and a bunch of friends were in my room playing Mario Party, and we'd each downed about 4 liters of caffeine, being about 12 years old, and we were bouncing off the walls. And you know when you get a new record in a mini game and there's the announcer?
Yep.
Her voice sounds nothing like this, but we found it hilarious because we thought she sounded like new record, and we just made that impression at each other for days because of Mario Party. It was just new record, and that was my experience with Mario Party 4.
I remember getting I think it was Mario Party 5. I got it for my birthday. I just had a birthday party, so we had so much fizzy drinks we had a hall, and there was fizzy drinks at the house, there was sweets, there was cake. I remember it was me, and I used to live on the estate, and me and my 4 friends come in, we took a load of bottles of drink upstairs and the whole birthday cake, and we sat there for hours, and I mean hours, playing this game, and I just couldn't get enough of it. And yeah, I was the same, bouncing off the walls, sitting. I remember one time I went to the toilet with the door open because I was scared they were going to start the mini game without me. So yeah,
that's amazing. And Mario Party was fantastic for that.
Another honorary mention I'll give you is actually one that I done later in life with my fiance, which was Resident Evil 1. We did together, which was we played that for hours because that's my favourite game. Resident Evil 2, sorry, I mean not 1. And also Metal Gear Solid. I only just got around to playing Metal Gear Solid 1 on the PS1. We did it with a walkthrough, and we did that step by step, and that took us ages to do because we kept getting lost on the bit where you have to put the key in water, and then, yeah, the whole catastrophe. Even with a walkthrough, we couldn't do it. And that was from Joseph. So thank you, Joseph. Appreciate it. Keep the emails coming again. And this is our last one. And it says, "Hi, my Xbox and me crew. Why did you and Russ break up?" Throw shades. Let me make this very clear. Me and Russ haven't broke up. Russ is a very busy man doing other things at the moment. He will be back, and I love him to bits, so calm down.
You're on a very amicable break.
Yes, exactly. Also, it says, "If you need a new host, wink." I don't know who this is from, definitely. Seriously, though, Gears of War 4 trailer dropped and hit with the same emotional... resonance. Oh god, I'm glad you're here. As the Mad World, Ashes to Ashes, and Dust to Dust trailers for Gears of War 1 and 3, respectively. My question is, what is your favourite game trailer, CG or not? Dead Highland was also great. Hope you answer. Scott at Elias Sedman.
Scott, you stole my answer.
I'm with you right there.
The Dead Island trailers are always superb. The most recent Dead Island trailer, that one where there was the person like with the headphones in doing the roller skating down the boulevard.
Yeah,
and
that was
suddenly
number
become a
2,
zombie.
right?
I think so. That one was fantastic. I'm trying to think of anyone else that had trailers that good.
Do you know what? Funny story about Dead Island 1. It was the first trailer my fiance saw before I did. And she was like, you have to watch this. I thought it was for a TV show. It's for a game. We have to buy this game. Bought that game day one. And oh my God, the disappointment.
I didn't think it was that bad of a game. It was not the game the trailer made it seem.
That's the problem. My fiance is a part-time gamer, so
Yeah.
anything story-based, she's like, I'm in. Dead Island, not the greatest story-based game going out there. So yeah, it kind of upset her.
It was an example of just like the trailer completely oversold that game.
Yeah, well, I was expecting an emotional journey with Dead Island, and I got a very unemotional game.
Yeah. Okay, actually, I know what my answer is, and I keep throwing Nintendo stuff out because that's where, like, when I was in my teens and emotionally invested in games,
Exactly.
it was all Nintendo stuff. This is a specific version of this trailer. It's the Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess trailer, but it's specifically that version from E3 2004 where you can see the audience stand up and start screaming.
Okay, I don't think I've actually seen that.
Okay, I will send you a link at some point.
Yep.
Go find the E3 2004 Twilight Princess trailer. Basically, like, having had Wind Waker happen first, which was all like, it was the bright, colourful Zelda game that everyone didn't think they wanted.
Yeah.
This was the return to, like, the dark, gritty Zelda. You had Link on horseback, like, slicing things off other horseback creatures, and there was all this dramatic Conan the Barbarian music, and it was everything that everyone had been upset that Wind Waker wasn't.
Okay,
And
so this was a big moment for everyone.
Yeah, it was that, and the whole, like, just the way that the music built up, and watching it with, like, this audience just losing their shit. It's still one that I go back to, and I'm just like, oh, that trailer's so good.
Zelda's the green guy, right?
Yeah, Zelda's the green guy. Yeah, no, Zelda's the princess. Link
I know.
is
I'm messing with you. Yeah.
I was trying to double joke, and I came back around and was like, no, I'm actually now just saying facts. You know what? Last year had a really good trailer.
Go on, hit me.
Final Fantasy VII HD, the remaster.
I did love that trailer.
I thought it was really good.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's been bad news about that game.
What's the bad news?
Well, apparently it's in like 5 separate parts, and they're all whole games, and yeah, that's a whole.
I'm gonna wait and see whether that turns out to be a good thing or not. But the trailer got. I was in the room. I was in the room when that trailer got shown off. I may have cried a bit.
Do you know what? Did you tweet about it? If I remember right.
I think I did. I was in the Sony press conference, and I was just like, oh my goodness, this is my childhood coming back to me.
Yeah, it was a great trailer. I even, as someone who's not a huge Final Fantasy fan, I played 7 but never finished it. I remember that opening sequence, so that was like, oh my God, and it made me want to buy the game then and there. Unfortunately, the game was nowhere near ready, and it won't be for a very long time.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Now that we got onto this question, I'm just coming up with so many.
No, go on, please. Keep it going.
Recent ones: Metal Gear Solid 5. Probably showed way too much in hindsight because, like, it showed every cutscene right through the end of the game.
Yeah.
But my goodness, Kojima knows how to make a cutscene trailer that I get excited about.
Was that the one with the clock and was showing the time mechanic?
Probably, but like what I remember from it was like there was one of these trailers where he's like rubbing the ash on his face and there's all this dramatic music.
Yes, I do. Like, it was like the I know what you're on about. Yeah, that was a good one. That was a good one. I'm trying to think as well. I remember the Resident Evil 3 trailer dropping at one time with Nemesis for the first time, and I was like, that guy is scary, and I can't wait to try and kill him. Fun fact, you try and kill him a lot of times and it doesn't happen.
Yeah. Oh god, the Resi 4 trailer.
See, that's funny. The Resi 4 trailer never got me like the Resi 1, 2, and 3 did. No.
See, I got into Resi late, and as such, like, I was getting into it, like, after Resi 3 had already happened.
Yeah.
And Resi 4 was the first time that, like, it's probably because it was the first time I was seeing a trailer for a Resident Evil game that, like, that didn't already exist.
Mm-hmm.
And I just got so tingly and excited. I was just like, oh my god, it's more Resident Evil. So that was fun.
I'll give a shout out to a PlayStation one as well. The new Uncharted trailer just come out, and that was quite good as well, in my opinion. For someone who's never played an Uncharted game, I do have the collection now, but that actually did make me want to play the games, so it did a good job.
One last one.
Yep, hit me with it.
I'll shut up soon enough. There was that one trailer for Mass Effect 3 that was really good, where it was CGI, but it was CGI to the point where it looked like more realistic than the game does.
Okay.
And it was all of the sort of like the various soldiers like jumping over these leaps and using their laser omni-tool blades to smash into stuff, and there's all these ships flying around. I like that. Mass Effect 3 had some good trailers.
Okay. Cool.
So yeah, there we go.
Scott...
I'll shut up now.
No, not at all. Don't shut up at all. Scott, thank you for the question. I appreciate it. I know there's one more about, but I'm going to save it for next week, Mr. Moody. Thank you for sending it in. Laura, let's talk about you for the last part of this.
Oh gosh, where are we going now?
No, we're not going anywhere. We're going to stay right where we are. But let's just let's talk about... I usually do plug at the end, which is plug in everything you do. But I want to talk about it a bit more than just plug and sending a link to someone. You do a podcast, you do a few podcasts. So let's talk about those.
I do a few, yeah. I do a few of varying sizes.
That's what I was going to say. And you were quite happy to jump on my little podcast, which I appreciate. You're always there to help people, I feel like.
I try my best to.
So, do you know what I mean? You're a good Samaritan out there, and I appreciate that. But you do a podcast with Jim Sterling.
Yeah, I do the Podquisition, which is a podcast where me, Jim Sterling, and Gavin Dunn, who is Miracle of Sound on YouTube, he does a bunch of video game songs. We basically sit around for an hour to an hour and a half, being very, very rude about video games.
Which is amazing.
It's video game news kind of crossed with, like... Imagine if your video game news people got lost on tangents and started talking about Batman villains as, like, sex objects, like Scatman, for example.
Which, again...
That's kind of the weird tangents we go on that show.
It's amazing. That is the one podcast that I've literally cut a lot of podcasts out of my time since starting. Trying to get into the industry, you don't really have time to check out a lot of other people's content, I found. But that is one podcast I tune in every single week.
Yay!
Because it's a phenomenal podcast. You're all funny. I respect all of you so much. And I feel like it comes across. The audience love it. The audience go crazy for it. Yeah, that's number one. Your YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/
Laura K Buzz.
You do some great stuff over there as well. You just finished doing a Zelda Let's Play, right?
Yeah, I have been in the middle of 2 different Zelda Let's Plays I was doing on a daily basis. I was playing through Skyward Sword and Twilight Princess. Next up, I'm going to be doing, one of them's still ongoing, but once Zelda's out the way, I'm going to be doing Dark Souls 3 is the next one.
Oh, that's going to be good.
Yeah, I put up the first 2 hours of it already, and it's a lot of me dying, so that's fun. Otherwise, I'm putting up a bunch of videos of VR games at the moment because I've got an HTC Vive in the office. So.
Ooh, I just tried. I wish I would. You know what? Next time you're on, we'll talk about it. I literally just tried HTC Vive at EGX.
It's kind of amazing, right?
You're gonna start off a whole time. Yes, it's fucking epic. I love it so much, but.
Yeah, like I used one at EGX, like the big EGX last
I
year
remember,
for
yeah.
45 minutes and was like, oh god, I need this in my life. So, yeah, putting up a bunch of videos of that. I put up one today that was basically just me using a 3D drawing program to draw butts.
I know which one you're on about as well. It's so good.
It was fun. So, yeah, a bunch of virtual reality videos and some Dark Souls 3 probably at some point.
Cool. And anything anyone should check out on Destructoid? Anything you're doing over there? I'm
doing a bunch of VR reviews over there at the moment because, like, getting sent a headset means I have to do all the VR stuff at the moment. Over on Destructoid, it's mainly just Monday to Friday, UK mornings, there's news. I'm in charge of that news happening. And reviews of VR games. That's me at the moment.
Cool. Anything else you want to plug?
Nothing else is jumping to mind at the moment. Just Laura K Buzz on Twitter. That's where I tweet about everything I'm doing. LauraKBuzz.com. I usually post links to everything there. I think there's a Laura K Buzz subreddit where everything goes as well, maybe.
Nice.
Actually, while I do it, if you want the list of all the podcasts I do, it's a bit of a list. I am on. Right, let me try and remember this fucking list.
Okay, let's do this.
Okay, I'm on the first 110 episodes of the Indie Haven podcast. I am on the Geek Night In category video games, which is currently on hiatus, but there's like 100 odd episodes of that you can go listen to.
Lovely.
Year of Steam. What other ones are there? Laura's Gaming Butts, where I talk about video game butts for an hour.
Lovely.
Podquisition. There is the Oh No Video Games podcast. I think that's it. I think. I don't think I missed any out.
If we find any more, we'll tweet you and we'll
Yeah.
find out what's going on.
Okay, I'm very sorry if I forgot one of the various shows I do. So
And my Xbox and me now.
yeah, you know, yeah, totally here permanently.
Of course, because you're not busy enough
in
doing
this
everything.
Of course, yeah.
Okay, yeah, check out mcfixer.co.uk. Again, Patreon supporters, thank you so much. I hope you're happy with this episode. Sorry, like I say, again, no video. I apologise. The video doesn't do great numbers anyway, so I won't worry.
Of course, they're happy about it. I'm on it. Of course.
Again, I appreciate your time and thank you. What else? Mike, check out Mike Lynch on YouTube, not the ukulele player, the one that does commentaries and gameplay. He's doing some great stuff over there, so check him out. Follow me on Twitter at MCFixer. It's not McFixer, that's what I keep getting. I found out that I branded myself all wrong.
I feel really bad now because up until this very moment I thought it was McFixer. And I'm so
do you know what
sorry.
it is? It's not your fault. It's not your fault. I branded myself as MC Fixer, not put in put a little C instead of a big C because I like the way it looks better. But that then says Muck and not MC.
Yeah, well that's it. Is I saw the big and small and I was like, okay, so it's McFixer. Yeah, I didn't realise it's meant to be like both big MC Fixer.
My branding's off point, but I've done it now, so shit happens. So if you want to call me Muck Fixer, that's fine, but it is MC Fixer, or usually people call me Fixer or Fix.
Can we combine them all up and make MC McFixer?
Oh, that would Joe. I should work at McDonald's rapping for a living. That'd be perfect. What else can I say? Yeah, patreon.com/MCFixer. That is where all the support is. That's where everyone seems they like the content. We're doing a cooking show, Fix at the Mix. We hit the Patreon goal, so it's coming soon. I promise. I've just bought the light in. I'm waiting for my chef's outfit to come. So if you're new to the channel because you've just checked it out because I've had the super Laura K butts on, I appreciate it. And if not, my people, love you, leave you. See you guys later. Bye.
Bye.